No niin, varmaan aloitetaan. Ja tervetuloa kaikki Itäkeskuksen kirjastoon. Tänään mun nimi on Robert. Ja meillä on suuri ilo toivottaa tervetuloksi meidän tämän illan vieras Svetlana Spajić. Svetlana on tullut meille ihan Serbiasta asti, varmaan Belgradista asti. Hän on kansainvälisesti tunnettu ja juhlittu laulaja, pedagogi, perinteentallentaja ja yhtyeenjohtaja. Ja hän on tehnyt myös monta vuotta intohimoisesti työtä entisen Jugoslavian alueen lauluperinteiden parissa ja on saanut merkittävää kansainvälistä tunnustusta. Itse asiassa Svetlana on hiljattain saanut Euroopan Nostran tämän vuoden Heroes of Heritage-palkinnon. Hänen erinomaisesta panoksestaan aineettoman kulttuuriperinnön säilyttämisessä ja edistämisessä. Hänet tunnetaan myös opettajana ja mestarikurssien vetäjänä myös ammattilaisten parissa. Ja pitäisi lisätä, hän on tehnyt myös yhteistyötä monen nykytaiteilijan kanssa, esimerkiksi Robert Wilsonin ja Marina Abramovicin kanssa. Eli siinä mielessä hänen työnsä myös yhdistää serbialaisen kulttuuriperinnön nykyaikaisiin kansainvälisiin musiikillisiin ja taiteellisiin suuntauksiin. Welcome to our library. What brings you, Svetlana, to Helsinki this time?
This time, Helsinki brings me love and friendship. So the friends organized it. Jana Maria, Emikuitinen, which we know, people build.
Could you use the mic?
Oh yes, nobody is. Robert, it's your.
I thought you wanted to.
But people still, yes. So there were already connections made, friendships, and here we are. 2 years ago, I was here at the festival Etnosoi, right? Yeah. So Jana Maria is here supporting all these steps, and Emi Kuitinen, and we met a long time ago. It's our little private adventurous story, which started in Belgrade, and here I am. Yeah, people connect, build friendships, and love brings me here. And in my mind, not imagination, in my awareness, Finland is a great place where people love traditional songs, traditional playing, what was the name of, I even like Finnish accordion traditions very much, yes.
It's like tango, for example, they like here as well. But.
Yeah, I know they like tango, but now I'm too excited. What was the name? Tell me, people, this famous lady, accordion player, Finnish. Give me a few names, I'll tell you.
Maria Kalaniemi.
Maria Kalaniemi, for example, yes. It's so pleasant. It was so pleasant listening to her, and it also reminded me of some of our female accordion player traditions, which I used to listen when I was a kid, Radojka Živković, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So, different connections between two cultures.
And I mentioned it, and everyone clapped, that you recently received this award, in fact, just a couple of days ago.
Yes, on Thursday.
That? Yeah.
Yes, I was nominated, and I got this Europa Nostra Serbia award, which is called like Heroes of the Heritage.
Yeah.
And even the General Secretary of Europa Nostra, like from the mothership, was there. And yes, and I dedicated this award to the old singers and to one very dear friend, Milinko Stefanovic, a cultural activist and photographer, one of the pioneers of, let's say, private initiatives in cherishing the traditional culture.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to hear more about your work, sort of collecting songs and source singers and so on. I was curious just about your background. You're from Serbia, but you live in Belgrade now, I guess.
Yeah, like lots of Serbs, you know, you
Live there, yeah.
eventually come to study to the big city, and then you decide to stay because you find some environment and the people who share some of your interests. And to put it very short, I was brought up with TV. I'm like TV generation, and
Right.
even though I was visiting my grandparents in the villages, but at that point, like early 70s, I never heard any traditional singing. Yeah, but it's not just that I wasn't lucky to hear it. You simply have some villages where, for this or that reason, they were putting quiet. Like, there are no customs anymore. Radio was playing already, TV's there. Customs as they used to be, like very, very complex ceremonies of weddings, everything disappeared in this new cultural building
Right.
of socialist Yugoslavia. So I never heard it there, but it happened once. I heard it on TV once.
Traditional music here.
Now I can say with this awareness, I was 5, 6 years old, waiting for some children program, and then it was like a group of women, 5, 6 of them, and they started singing, and I was like totally frozen, like.
Yeah.
And then I like, what is this? This is not singing. This is not music. What is this? And the atmosphere in that venue, because it was some program about the villagers, you know, and everything was so light, joking about everything, ha ha ha. I didn't appreciate, yeah. But then they sang, and you could feel in the venue like everybody was almost embarrassed, you know, like because of, yeah, so it changed. So it stayed with me. And then in the adolescent years, I heard one group, Paganke. At that point, it was the only urban group in the 80s that cherished village singing. Yes. And they were doing some arrangement with Lala Kovačev. It was like some jazz with elements of, it was also something new. And so they were like, it was like mantra, singing something. Mili mičo je silko dovaca, jesam. So I was mesmerized. And I told to myself, when I come to study, I'm gonna become member of this group. And it did happen 5 years later. So that's the reason, you know, I stayed in Belgrade, but naturally I was brought up in one small town on the border between Serbia and Bosnia. It's the Drina Valley, the Drina River Valley, and there were lots of this very fragile singing. When I say fragile, because it was so outstanding, with lots of intensive second intervals and things, and in most of the villages it disappeared.
Okay.
And in my grandma's village as well, but you would allow me maybe to interrupt you at this point, so with the sound to bring the area. Lassi is here and he will join me. Lassi,
That would be good.
would you,
No?
because this morning, yes, we tried to put together one wedding song, which was built, like constructed for only and exclusively for 2 singers. Yes. So shall we try?
I think it's good then people have an idea what you're
Yes.
coming from.
It will bring a little bit of the region from which I'm coming from. So. Yes. Let's cue now. ourselves, like instruments, so we can tune also people. So.
We used to have
Aipo, lazi, aipo, lazi, lepa, aipo, lazi, lepa. Okay.
Aipo, lazi, lepa, jelo.
Yeah, we have a little bit. So, relax. Let's reduce the tempo. Let's like eat, bite, 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 syllable by syllable. Open the mouth a little bit more. Stand a little bit closer to me. Yeah, so let's adjust. Hey, kid. And when you jump here, stay a little bit longer so that we can build this second interval. Let's try. Okay, one more attempt.
Aipo, lazi, lepa, jelo.
I appreciate it so much today, your effort and effort of all the others. So we changed it. Now it takes lots of practice. And of course, this wedding duet, for example, it's meant to be two women. Yeah, women were like these little choirs for the wedding. So yeah, if the intonation is a little bit more intensive, then it can be heard further and some other features would appear there. But okay, I hope you get a little idea.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really, so many questions come from that.
Yes.
First of all, there's the idea that these songs are maybe linked in a lot of cases to some occasions.
Of course, they were,
village
life. Lots of them were in certain context. Mm-hmm. But somehow, from the early morning till the evening, so everything was followed with songs. Yeah. So if you are alone in the herding your sheep, you are saying like, which is not considered singing at all. It's just like some private chanting, but you are trying to relax and, spend some time. Everything was with kind of poetically organized language, yes, which then has its ways of communicating, yes.
Right.
So the verb singing is technically not used very much in the villages at all. Mm-hmm. So this was wedding voice.
Right.
When you say voice, glass, it is entire set of certain features, rules, proceedings that you have to follow, so you know the context, and yeah, it's like integrated part of your everyday's life,
Right.
to put it shortest. Yeah.
And so you had to go after, when you became interested, you had to go find this because it wasn't part of your own musical childhood.
Yeah. So like I said, these were little seeds, let's say, from the childhood and the early days, and then I started singing with pagan ladies. That's the name. But then, to skip a little bit, very soon I became aware that this will not bring me anywhere. Yeah. So that was very good awareness, because it happened that I would sing something to some grandmas. There was in the neighborhood one lady from Montenegrin mountains, or area near to there. So I tried to sing to her, Štavanski glas. I was so convinced that it's all good. I sang to her, she couldn't recognize it, and she said, no, this is not from my village. Sorry, this is not how it is sung. So questions raised, like what is it? And again, to put it short, you need teacher. You need somebody, if you want certain knowledge, you need somebody to teach you. And then today I'm saying, if you're going to sing opera singing, of course you will find the best opera teacher, yes? But if you want to sing this, you have to find the best traditional singers. And this is how it started. One and that. So eventually I was enriched with, let's say, some 15 fantastic singers from different areas of the oldest generation. Some of them died, some of them are still alive. In other words, I wasn't collecting the recordings. It wasn't my aim. I don't even like these syntagm field recordings. It means nothing to me, you know. So when they say, okay, I have this field recording, can you please identify the first voice and the second voice? And I said, this is not field recording, these are two ladies, you know? Like, at least try to imagine them, yeah. And then I spent lots of time, as much as I could. They became my friends, they were coming to my place, and then I also had this idea how it would be, because, you know, it was as if you entered like a new universe in which you understand nothing. Like, they are explaining to me some terms, some categories, but you can't get it. So then I wanted to share this experience with younger singers, and from there lots of other questions were opened, like where we are as a generation, how much we know, and what is the purpose and what is the importance of this transfer of knowledge. But it's not only that, it's like meeting. If I meet you face to face, and then if I meet old person, what is happening? Lots of things are happening. So this is also, this like connecting a generation, connecting is also in core of my work nowadays. In between, I'm getting older, and I'm already seen as an old figure, like a grandma figure, which is important because for young people, it's also important to feel certain authority of the years that somebody lived, experienced, harsh times. See, in symbolical way, it is very important that they perceive the old. So the symbol of the old in the songs, you have this like Čestita starina, yeah, somebody who is or old chieftain, yeah. Because if kids do not perceive the old and the past through, yeah, it's like embodiment of another person, they are not capable of imagining future, or thinking in a responsible way about the future, because gadget is here to give them they are the smartest, yeah? All the answers are there. Just click on the button. Who needs some previous generations or something ahead of us? But I can testify here that the need is huge among them, because the old and the young are somehow, they are really compatible. Yeah, to sit. So the moment Olga sits there, fabulous singer from Rudnik Mountain, passed away in February 14 this year. The time stops, so they slow down and they focus and they listen, and she's telling all the stories, bringing all and they are slowing down and developing the emotion that's gonna stay with them till the end of their life. And then they came to the funeral, and you should see, more the time goes, of more importance these little encounters are. Just like I mentioned this Baba Staya from my neighborhood, Montenegrin woman, how important she was for me.
Yeah, it's exciting to me the idea of sort of the oral transmission of culture without writing or, without computers, that it can still happen, considering it's sort of the oldest way for humanity.
Yes, it is. It is very
Thousands
important.
of years we've transferred poems and works of imagination.
The way of transmitting, transfer of knowledge, it's not only oral, it's person to person. So in other words, the most, let's say, adequate source of some knowledge for you is another person, because you are studying everything, and we are resembling, we are human beings. So, and the oldest chain of tradition on the earth is the chain of generations of human beings. Yes. And human beings cannot become human beings if there is no society, a community. Yes. If you are brought up with wolves, you will talk wolf language, right? We even witnessed such things. So imagine, if you are really educating yourself with a little gadget or in the digital way or cartoons, like what are you becoming? Is it like human tradition or something new? So that's the core. So I'm always encouraging the youngsters. Okay, it's very nice that you are, even those who are willing to dig and listen to the field recordings and really hear all the nuances. But the main thing is that you are meeting other people, and old people. So then I advise, go to the open green market, meet some people there, develop your channel of communication, put yourself understand. Notice another person and make yourself, without it, you will do nothing. You will sit at home as a nerd, listening to something, because that's what happened to me. Okay, I'm listening to something, I believe I know something, and then she cannot recognize. And I was so sure that everything was there. I have good ear. Yeah, I do have. Forget it. Every 5-6 years, I have to revisit the songs. It's like, is it really what I sang? Is this what I heard? So different is this, let's say, musical thinking, the construction of these songs, the phenomenon, sound phenomenon, and the language phenomenon that there are happening, etc., etc. And so it's like investing time. So invest, crazy word, but yeah, find time for other human beings and for your passion. Like sit and ask, what is this? Like I asked myself when I was 5, 6, and I'm still searching for the answers. What is this? What is this?
How did you find, you mentioned some singers by name, like Olga, like would these people, these singers have been known in their community? I mean, they weren't recording artists,
Yeah.
but would people know, if you want to hear a good singer, go talk
Different
to
stories.
Olga? Okay.
Yeah, different, totally different stories. For example, Olga, who I can say was my biggest teacher and was, let's say, well known among this small niche of ethnomusicologists or people who are, it's like small. So I had the opportunity to hear her once in Belgrade for BEMUS, Belgrade Music Festival. So she was there, and she was like, like a goddess, you know. But then life brought, your interest is bringing you to the situation. So I started meeting her on this manifestation, people's gathering, and here, and we developed that bondage. And then she started coming to my place, and she was the first one who gave workshops for the youngsters with the help of mine. And then I could witness that not only she was amazing singer, it's like amazingly beautifully constructed song, voice, very talented pedagogist, which is not so often, that people from that generation can really explain what's going on.
Right.
So it's one case. In other case, I was in search for Andrija Baljak, legendary singer from the region of Dalmatia,
Okay.
Serbs from
Would he
Dalmatia.
be known from records or just from?
He was known from records, and so it's almost like a mythical figure. And then we made this group, Žegar Živi. So it was a very unique moment when I came to that village, like new community, because we met in the monastery Krka, and we started like singing together. A novum was like somebody from the town, from not, adopting now with them. And in third, and then all the singers there, they also became my teachers, and annually we are meeting each other, and Obrat Milic somewhere stayed the CD I have to show. We just gave concert 2 weeks ago together. Youngsters and Obrat, Dalmatian gusla player, dipla player, fabulous singer. And so we are connecting again as generations. In fourth case, it was good insider who brought me there. So Bokan Stankovic, a great bagpipe player, great singer, like living, walking encyclopedia of all these singers.
I can recommend you have some record that you sing with, or at least I found that.
Yeah, with Bokan. He's my age.
It's
Bokan.
very good. Listening to.
So he taught me lots of these songs and was telling the stories about them, and then we were going together. And sometimes it would happen, like the village of Ošljane, we came, and already those singers are too old, or like even to sing. But then we sang for them, and it was so intensive, as if we gave them the message, like what you were cherishing wasn't in vain, somebody singing. So, and later I heard in the village they were talking about, there is this lady in Belgrade, she's singing our songs. So different situations. Then it happened that I met Milo Ljupšaković. He's like a master of izvika. He died a couple of years ago, and with him I didn't have that much intensive singing, experience. but he would call me sometimes three, four times a week. All the time we were chatting about, and he really helped me, you know, to understand some of the concepts of, for example, Izvika singing. And I can do it now. So it's like, you know, piece by piece, and my interest was huge, you know, to know the repertoire of Eastern Serbia and this. So I adopted, you know, it's like everyday's passion, honestly.
I love it. There's sort of, because people, when they think of Serbian music, there can be different kinds, maybe some brass music or, but the singing you do, it seems to have specific kind of some structures, rules, or things that are different than what most people in Finland might be used to. Do you want to give maybe some basic sort of
It's basic, you know, the generation maybe of these people, like your ancestors singers, would much easily understand some of the ideas and concepts of these singers that I'm mentioning, these old singers, than the youngsters today in Serbia. It's like having no clue what it's all about. And how to explain to you. You remember when I mentioned they don't even use the word singing.
Right, yeah.
Yes. So if it's not singing, what is it? Yeah? Again, that...
We had a discussion last week if laughing can be music and
you see, nowadays everything can be music. You know, there's squeezing something, baking with electric, that's music. That's fine. But in the core of this, it's like, let's say, that the skeleton, the marrow of this is the language. And then it's not any language, it's poetical language, poetical power with all versification of that language, which is organized, yes? Like, has its metrical rules, these alliterations, whatever. And then that's the language that can change and influence the reality. Before Lassie and I sang this song, the bride cannot depart her house and go to a new home, and everybody witnessed it. It's like performative for role of language. The language that can really transform, influence the reality, the language that remembers the truth from the past and leaving it for the future generation. And orality, and these communities, our ancestors, it's like such a rich legacy, just like here. Yeah? Everybody knows about Finnish traditions, yes? So, bit by bit, to discover this, like I call them different channels of communication or different modes of expression, yes? But I always give this very simple example. If you are praying, you cannot say I'm singing a prayer or I'm telling the prayer. You are praying. And there is a certain way how you pray, right? And prayers or psalms are also organized in some poetical way, in that sense. So the moment, let's say, the guest is on the door, you are changing the mode, because these through language they expressed everything, and there was no small talk. Yeah. Evo meni moga milog gosta, dođi meni džesi mi sokole. So you're instantaneously putting it into some meter, or if you are having toast, it's also again rhythmically, melodically organized in certain meter. Volovi ti vukali, dušmani jaukali. Dušmani ti pod nogama bili kao čavli konjma pod kopitom. Etc. You understand. So, That's one, and it's not so maybe complicated. Or certain storytelling, so you have to also develop maybe a trochaic reflex, and then how to know on every feet how to activate, and what's happening on every foot, etc., etc. So it's like very complex from somebody who's not. So it's like you are putting one lens and another lens and the third and the fourth lens to get some correct optic. And correct optic is when he says, yeah, okay, yes. You simply feel when you quote it. It's like maybe they cannot explain, Obrat cannot explain all to me, but it's like you see it was good. And of course, these are some, I call them dwarf forms. To be really able to put something into long, epic piece, that's another pair of shoes, like, not to mention the gusla player. But let's say that I really developed like this epic meter, deseterac, 10-syllable, it's like Serbian meter. And so I can speak in 10-meter form. Or even I can tell the events. Okay, maybe there were some rallies in Belgrade, I can put it together. I was doing it. But then to support with the gusle, it takes time. So some of the forms,
like,
the gusle is like
sort of
your,
Kantele.
yeah,
Like kantele.
like kantele,
Yeah.
yes. So you are accompanying yourself, taking time. But you see, the gusle, I believe also kantele, it's not just the instrument. It's like your friend that is inviting the history to come here to be. And I believe there must be like referring to kantele. Oh my dear kantele, play now with me. Is it true? Huh? Do you have something? Because gusla player would refer. Gusle moje, my dear gusle, my dear friend. Yeah, you're made of this and that. Help me and support me today. Let us say together this story of, yeah. So everything becomes sacred and alive.
The music you sing, is it almost always a cappella, or is it? It seems to be the.
Yeah. We could say that lots of village singing it's really a cappella. A cappella in different formations. Like some are very exclusive, like this one, built off for two singers. They have to be very skillful, not only to sing well, I mean, but to know all the protocols, for example, of wedding and like collective knowledge. And then we have like big choirs. Mostly it's two-part singing. The second intervals are so important for Serbs. You can find them everywhere. It's another subject why it's in second intervals. Yes. And then when it's accompanied a little bit with the instrument, maybe it is some tamburica, you are accompanying yourself, but the gusle, yes. But the gusle is not considered playing. You cannot say, I'm playing gusle, or I'm singing. So it's like a new verb, gusliti. Gusliti means the action of telling the story at the spot when you are performing it. So it's not memorized in advance. So you have to tell the story. Just like how you are saying Little Red Hood every night to your child. You are not repeating from word to word. You have to bring yourself to your child in that story. She will appreciate that. Maybe instead of reading, yes. But even people who read know how to do it, and So it's like a gusliti, something new. As if this became like a new medium. That's why I'm telling that, like new channel of, something new. So, and I ask, okay, Obrat, if you say sviram gusle, like I'm playing gusle, he said, maybe that would mean that I came to the stage and I'm just pulling, with gusle without any telling, yes. And then, he was making a little bit fun with me. Yes, but that's true. Yeah, so there are instrumental and voice together, but a cappella.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to learn, like, because the singing style, the technique seems different to me than what maybe somebody might learn in a classical.
I'm still learning. I'm still
has this ornament all the time, like.
Yeah, ornaments. But then you discover that ornaments actually mean something else. It's like a nice framing or how to connect. It's like if you have these bricks, so ornaments will be these between lines or, lots of different things. And today I mentioned on the workshop that I very often use this metaphor of building the castle of sand, and then if you are not refreshing, it's going to dry out, to disappear, because I didn't adopt my mother's tongue of melodic, poetic, oral, ancient tradition as a mother's tongue, yeah? So I speak Serbian, but to sing Serbian and speak it in poetic way and is the different thing. Only these two systems together make one language complete. And so I have to refresh all the time. And more I sing with some community, it's better, of course. And I also remember better because the emotional connection is, so it triggers me easily and I get into it. But then I also realized that I'm making mistakes and mixing the things. So I also had to develop like a simple method of marking what's going on, because I noticed that the singers who are not from that area, like simplifying the things or making things equal, actually applying different melodic patterns that they are adopted from other musical niches to this. And then they don't even realize that they changed something. So then I have to stop them, like sit here, syllable by syllable, what's going on. And then they don't believe. So it's very long-term process. You have to invest lots of time. You have to check yourself a lot. And my advice is like, listen to it 1,000,000 times and still don't trust yourself. Yeah, because, maybe, Amy, shall we show a little bit? Yeah, let's make it. Because poor Robert cannot find a moment to ask me the question because I'm talking too much. Why am I so talkative in Finland? God knows. Yeah, okay, this. So we will show, and I mentioned Miloju Šaković, so it's one of his songs. Oh, it's my heart beating. Yeah, what's that?
The mic.
Yeah. Maybe it will be okay. You will hear the central tone and we will see.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
so responsible. You should take longer pauses, really breathe, give yourself some oxygen.
Yeah.
And also, because this way it sounds hectic. If you relax a little bit more, bigger pause, they're gonna be more relaxed. Okay. So next strophe, really try. Take your time. So bit by bite. Moj not bad at all. Okay, we survived. So what time is it? What shall we do next?
We have about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yes.
More, we can ask if anyone has questions.
Yeah, okay. I can stay longer if you feel like, if we have more time. Maybe I can sing something.
Yeah. There was like a beautiful Christmas song.
Mulla on pakko sanoa.
But I maybe it needs another part.
Mä tulen
Yeah, there is this. Zapeli se danele dva slaveja, danele da moj dane, brajenule moj koledo. Yes, we mentioned this Ošljane village. So it's like for Nabas, accompanying voice, but okay, a little bit. That the lyrics are fantastic. So the two nightingales are now together in effort and with the song to give birth to a new god. Yeah, it's like da zapeli se danele ulug zelen, danele da moji dane, brajenule moj koledo. Da si rode, danele mlada Boga, danele da moj dane, brajenule moj koledo. Mlada Boga, danele i Božića, danele da moji dane, brajenule moj koledo. Okay, just one part of it. Yes. Yeah, winter song like caroling with the koledo. So koledo, you say calendar, it's like kolo. Kolač, the bread, the ritual bread we call it. So so koledo. Yes, something around it. It's like a calendar. And then they go these processions of koledar, songs, singers, praying for the well-being, of the families, kettles, and yeah. So that's from that cycle of songs. Yeah. So any questions? Any
objections?
Yes, yes.
I
Go, Paula.
wanted to ask, you mentioned that you're using the second interval and it's kind of a different story, but I'd still like to ask, like, why, what, if you could shortly describe what
Yeah.
why exactly the second
Well,
interval?
maybe on the first instant idea would be it's like second interval is dissonant and it's heard far away. It's like, okay, maybe. But I was thinking it's very similar also to when you speak. So you have the nature. Let's say that the spoken language is like the calmest one channel. But then with second intervals, they're very easy, like to move a little bit because you also want to underline certain syllables with certain meaning. Because if we are going to sing together, this underlining that I'm doing with certain second intervals can help us really to build. There's like accents are correct and it's very readable for the audience. And God knows what else. Yes, but it was like very much, almost like a sacred thing, when you sing these ritual songs with naglas, like this wedding song. It's very important. And then if I'm murmuring something like privately with the sheep, nobody pay attention to it. It's not so important. Yes. So I hope I answered at least partly your question. Other thing, it's like with this dissonant, second interval, you really develop like a pole of energy. It's not just that it's heard there, but it's like almost like the distorted guitar, it's like amplified. It's, the pole of electricity you feel between two singers, and lots of overtones are then released. It's like entire spectrum, and you have the physical sensation of some connection between earth and heaven, and like lots of things. I enjoy it very much. It's like, and then also it's a challenge because it has it's connected with human relation, because if we are too close with this second interval, it will disappear. If we are too far, so how to find the balance, the color? So it's entire aesthetics of listening, like this izvika. It's like you have to know also how to listen this, like, and then they will say nosi zvono glas, like this voice really brings the metal, like or the bell, because overtones are very fine. And then in this soundscape, which is very rich, also to bring the text, the lyrics, in a readable way. So that's why I'm here to cut. Second. What you know what you did in the second? I sang. You were lingering a little bit too long, So I had, So you need a little practice. So I'm going to cue, to show her how long it should be, because it's traditional singing. We don't have outer conductor to show us anything. So there is inner set of rules. And then you follow these rules, and you cannot activate one thing until the other one is finished. So it means they are so codependent and both responsible for the song. And the ideal in this piece is to be sung for very long. It's like big expansion of sound and text in time and space. And so if we mess up, Yeah, it's like organization of breathing. You know how to expand that signal. Everybody's gonna laugh. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Or shall we conclude this session? Yeah, no more questions.
Can you
Yes.
make an example like in the morning today?
Yes.
How do you tell a story? You began telling. Like it's not talking, it's not singing.
Yeah. Let's say there used to be, because these are the days, and so Saint Nicola, it's called Sveti Niko. So these are the days. In 2 days, Saint Nicholas will be celebrated. So then there is this like very developed tales about Saint Nicola going from heaven all the way down to hell. And on that way he's meeting father, mother, sister, brother. So, and nobody can end up in paradise with him, only his brother. Yes, because everybody was greedy and selfish, and the brother was a shepherd who always gave a glass of water to the passenger. And so, pošeta se Sveti Niko milodiko, od dvaraja do četvrtog pakla velikoga. Otud ide mili babo, čekaj Niko, čekaj sine, more moli mi zajedno greve greovati, pred istina Boga izlaziti, na tanku sedlaku opirati. Hoj, mi ne moremo mi zajedno greve greovati, pred istina Boga izlaziti, na tanku sedlaku opirati, etc. So you get, and then it starts with, so it's like this way of telling this Saint Nicholas story. Yeah. Okay, thank you, teachers.
Laula.